Is it time to party like 1985, or is it time to get ready for the ultimate crash in the market? That is the question we're going to be trying to answer today. And guys, if you've been bullish these last couple days, I got some bad news to tell you. The market just closed above the 50-day moving average, and yeah, it's going to say F your know what puts, because yeah, that one's going to hurt. That one's going to hurt. But if you've been holding calls, you're probably raking in that dough right now, especially now, mind you, VIX is coming down, so your implied volatility is going to shrink a little bit on those options. But the nice delta expansion is probably paying you wonderfully. I did not partake in the euphoria like you guys did, but if you made money on it, congratulations. I've been saying that once we closed above 537.45, it was bullish time. I was concerned that the 50-day moving average was going to be a fake out. However, I was wrong, right? Fully admit I was wrong. I was still in that bearish thesis mode because I did say once you broke the 50 back here that we had to stay in bearish thesis mode till we broke back above it. Now it's very easy to get bullish on the market. However, there are some things we need to pay attention to as not necessarily red flags, but actually yellow flags, right? How can we look at it? How can we profit it? And also, where can we look for new opportunities? That's where we're going to be looking at today. Now, if you guys noticed in the beginning of the stream, I mentioned a lot about options, right? And if you're very unfamiliar, you don't know what an option is, you don't know how to play it, but you want to actually get into options. Rather than making a rambling video where you guys, essentially any creator that creates these videos, it doesn't give you guys the ability to ask questions, right? You can ask questions in the comment section, but again, that's not really being a teachable moment for you guys where you can bounce ideas off one another and also ask questions. So what I'm going to be doing is tomorrow, after this video is live, Saturday, the August 17th, we're going to be holding a live stream. So I have not determined when that's going to be yet. I'm expecting 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as a time. Throw it down in the comment section below if you guys recommend any other time. But I'm also going to be doing exclusive questions from Discord. So we have our Discord channel linked down in the description below. Go down there and join the Discord. It's going to be a fun stream. I really want to interact with you guys. And you can also see the screen a little bit better when we're doing Discord. So please, please, please join that down there. I really want you guys to join so we can just educate you guys on options from all levels, right? If you're into strategies, we're going to be talking about strategies. If you're brand new to options, we're going to be talking options like basics, right? And I want to really get to know you guys and interact with you guys, kind of do something more out of the ballpark of the standard, YouTube thing. And it's going to be amazing. And I actually want to turn it into a series. So first of all, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. So one, you're going to know when that live stream goes live. We're going to be dual streaming it on YouTube and Rumble. So make sure you guys follow on both and or subscribe to one, have bell notifications on YouTube. And yeah, it's going to be a fantastic time. So if you're new to options, want to learn options, and just get the basic gist of it, hey, come hang out. It's going to be a fun time. It's going to be about a 1 or 2 hour stream. So drop in anytime you guys want. And yeah, that's where you're going to get all your option questions. Now, I'm going to go a little more into options in this video, just kind of glancing over some of the things I'm going to be looking at. First of all, I'm going to be looking to not necessarily hold over the weekend because I understand, like I mentioned in the beginning of this video, that Israel-Iran is still not settled down. To me, that's a personal risk for the market because, yeah, this thing can pop off any second now, and this entire rally could get completely reversed, washed away. We're going into Jackson Hole, which if you all have PTSD from August 2022, well, some of us do, and Jerome Powell really ripped the market a new one then. I want to see what the man himself says before I go levering into the markets. However, throughout this next subsequent week, I'm definitely going to be looking bullish as long as we stay above the 50-day moving average. The ideal scenario is we get rejected off of this level here, 554.87 on the market, come back, retest the 50, and then break through it. That would be the ultimate bullish move for the market, because I do believe VIX, no matter what, is going to come down to a level where buying options is actually going to be the correct way to go. The market is extremely volatile, and delta moves actually are very, very predictable, especially because the market just loves running up, right? We just seen there has been no stopping this rally right here, and we are continuing to go up. We're going to be talking about in the stream some of the hallmarks to look out for of how you're pricing options, how to roll options, what rolling is, what it actually does, how implied volatility works, right? It's going to be a fantastic time. So jumping over to implied volatility, I said if VIX crosses the $20 barrier, then most likely we're going to be heading down to this $12.88. If you guys are bullish on VIX, I have some bad news to tell you. I personally do not think that the 50-day was going to hold, and nor do I think the 200 is going to hold. I think VIX is coming down right back to that $12 number, and I will be loading the boat on VIX calls at that point 1 year out, because I want to basically be able to go into the market and not worry about playing bullish positions. I want to be hedged against those positions and where I can put on more risk. Options actually allow you to put on more risk. They're not there to be directional plays necessarily. They're there to allow you to take both sides of the trade while staying delta neutral in the markets. And if you haven't read Safe Haven by Mark Spitznagel, it is a fantastic book that goes over it. And also, if you're still bearish this market, guys, I am a true bear at heart. I am going to tell you that the market is going to crash. Warren Buffett selling 50% of Apple is going to go down in history as the greatest warning sign ever. This liquidity crisis on VIX, which is VIX crossing the 40 barrier, and that thing did it in a heartbeat, going all the way to 66, being the third largest spike in VIX in history in living memory on top of it, is going to go down as the early warning sign. However, how are you going to sit here and tell me we're going to have a crash when the market's above the 50-day moving average, NASDAQ's going up, VIX is below even the liquidity crisis barrier, not above 1920, and heading downwards to $12? I'm still waiting for the bear thesis to play out here, right? Doesn't necessarily mean I'm not objectively looking at it. Again, I've talked about the yield curve about the markets, right? And how it's probably going to do loop-de-loops. We covered it in the stream last night. And yeah, this thing, if I ever get my hands on my partner, I swear I'm going to strangle him one of these days because, joking, right? Because he said this thing is going to do loop-de-loops, and it's doing loop-de-loops. It's driving me thoroughly crazy. So you guys can see me lose my mind live as well about the yield curve and mention it, throw it in the comment section below, and just drive me crazy. For all those that don't know what the yield curve is, you know, economists polled say it doesn't matter, but again, it's predicted 80% of the recessions and crashes in the market, so, you know, I'll stick with the 80% versus the 20%, and I'm going to be looking at this very diligently as the market evolves. And secondly, we want to talk about treasuries, because treasuries are doing a funky thing. They're going up as the Fed is supposed to cut rates. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, something doesn't add up here. And simply put it, well, you can see that the CME tool is expecting a rate cut. However, now we're going to actually expect only a 25 basis point cut in September. I wonder why the 50 is no longer really on the table. Jerome Powell told you it's not on the table, guys. And for December, we're only expecting now, subsequently, where we currently are, we're expecting about 3 rate cuts, right? The first one in September, second one in November, and third one in December. They're expecting 3 consecutive rate cuts. I do think this is going to get blown out of proportion in the Jackson Hole speech. That is next week. We're going to be covering that in the Weekend Deep Dive. Make sure you guys are subbed for that as well. That'll be on Sunday after the stream, and that way I can cover some of the topics you guys pop in the stream for that. So it's going to be a fantastical time. But the other notable thing is we're back in fear. What does Warren Buffett say? It's time to buy fear. It's time to buy extreme fear. The man himself is not doing it necessarily, but then again, this is an excellent time to be bullish the market in short bursts, right? Having limit stop losses in place to basically raise them as the market goes up. You get stopped out, you get to go sit on your hands with profit, right? It's a very simplistic thing to do, and we talk about it on the channel all the time, the levels you guys have to pay attention to, right? We talked about it for the S&P that we were saying the second we crossed this area, we opened, pushed up above, you could have been bullish this entire way up to the upside, nearly getting almost 80% of that move. The NASDAQ, similar story. We talked about it. We opened exactly on the level, did not look back. At 10 o'clock, I was like, okay, time to be bullish. And you got even a dip on Wednesday to basically buy that opportunity, right? We bought her all back up, gap up, go, close above the 50. When in striking distance, again, Friday most likely is going to be bullish. And Bitcoin, honestly, I wasn't expecting this with Bitcoin, just holding that 56 level, right? Just holding steady around this level. And that's very bullish for the market. That allows the 50-day to come down. It actually creates a consolidation pattern here. And yeah, that's just bullish. That's just plain bullish, guys. There's nothing bearish in the short term here. Yes, I know that everyone's going to say the market's going to crash. Look at the economical numbers, right? So again, I'm not trying to be this person that tells you that we're not going to get a crash. Yes, we are. I think people reacting to these numbers are complete morons, but they're reacting. They're the ones putting their money on the market and they're winning, right? We can look Empire State Manufacturing, contraction territory, Philadelphia Fed Manufacturing, tongue twister there, contraction territory. We can see core retail sales, that is inflationary. Continuous jobless claims tick down a little bit, right? Not crazy, but looking at this, GDP, right? Atlanta Fed GDP came out later. Oh yeah, 2.4 versus 2.9 expected contraction in the economy. So if I look at this, I'm like, not necessarily the best thing. Industrial production, negative, right? Capital utilization, lower than expected. Retail sales, higher. People spending money on debt to spend the economy. It's not going to keep going. It's not going to keep going at all. And that's the problem, that we're actually just going to keep spending ourselves into oblivion. And the question is on Friday, we're going to get some housing numbers. I'm going to go over that in the stream. We can talk about that as well. We also get Atlanta Fed GDP now, again, reported on Friday. Are they going to give a different number than the 2.4? I don't know. Again, CPI came in, like, in my opinion, meh, but it leaves the Fed open to giving a rate cut, or they're going to basically say that because of jobs, we're not going to cut, right? It's going to be a topic we can discuss, how you guys can profit off it. We're going to be talking about the strategy to profit off of these catalytic events, right? And take little chunks of risk, right? You don't have to put a large capitalization. I'm going to be specifically looking at strategies for smaller accounts where you guys can drop in. And I would love for you guys to come on the stream, give me account sizes, if you're comfortable sharing that, obviously, and then we can discuss hypotheticals even. Let's say you don't want to say your account size, say 1,000, say 5,000, say 10,000, right? Ranges here. And then we can talk about strategies that you can employ to better grow your portfolio while minimizing risk and other things. Like, let's say you just buy stocks. We're going to be talking about covered calls and explaining what they are, how to do them, how to roll them, what to do, when to do. All this and more. It's going to be very, very fun, and I hope to see you guys in that special live stream, and I hope to make it a series. So make sure, number one, you hit the like button down below so you know, hey, you're interested in that stream, and also are subscribed with bell notifications on so you know when that video is going live along with that live stream. So thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the Discord down below and in the next video, which is going to be the stream. So thank you all so much.